At this point, I left the piece overnight. It was bedtime, and I wasn't super excited about how these shapes came together when I first left it. I had that moment where I thought, what have I done? Which can happen. And I tried to just say, okay, that's the process. But I still was thinking about it, and then I remembered at some point I'd used rubbing alcohol to remove some ink, specifically the Pitt Artist Pen. And I thought, okay, well, I'll give that a try, and maybe I'll remove all of those. And then I came back to see this, and I liked it without doing anything to it. But I did think that I would go ahead and try the rubbing alcohol on one little part to see if it did what I thought it was going to do. And I've removed this part right here. I didn't like how it came out super far. So I dipped this precision point cotton swab into the rubbing alcohol and rubbed it, and yes, it did. It removed the ink, and it also kind of ate through the gesso, which is fine at this point, but it definitely means that I'm not going to go through and remove all of these, just to show you. So it starts out kind of looking like it's just smearing the ink. And that's kind of all it's done there. So I'll show you closer. These 2 points are where I took it off with the rubbing alcohol. So I would only do that if I were absolutely desperate, I think. Something went really, really horribly wrong. Otherwise, leave it alone. Maybe you'll come back and like it. But it's an option. So now I'm just going to replace that and then move on to the final details. So I was thinking, last night I just was not feeling it with getting the compass out and adding another line. Just really, really wasn't feeling it. So I didn't do it. But it could have possibly produced results that I was even happier with. So maybe it was worth a try. But we won't know until the next piece, because there's always a next piece. At this point, like I said, I came back, I was happy with it, and now we are going to move on. I'm going to, now I mentioned this, I'm going to take the fortune cookie and add that as text at the top. This is the washi tape that I was talking about. This is a Ranger product also. It's I think a Tim Holtz line. He does a whole lot with them. And washi tape comes in all kinds of different patterns and colors. This one is, fairly neutral. It's got like script and that sort of thing with it. But it's a fairly transparent tape, and it tears very easily, and it's only semi-tacky. So you can try it out. And you can audition where you want to put the stuff, and then if it doesn't work, you can move it around. So yeah, that's one great thing about it, because I thought, yes, that's totally going to work, and then I put it down and I'm like, it's a little meh. It's a little A little too dull to go with the white that's showing from the gesso that showed up a little brighter. So I just have to pull that off and come up with something else. But I'm going to start with the fortune cookie message. And I like this because it doesn't, what I got from it is not that you necessarily have to get a smile from another person, but studies show that if you smile, even if you don't mean it, then you still produce a positive chemical reaction in your body. You produce the hormones and neurotransmitters that you have if you are actually happy. So I used to tell my belly dance students that all the time. So like, even if you don't mean it, once in a while muster up a smile. And in any case, you'll start to build positive associations, even if you're working on something and it's very hard. I was trying to keep my scraps over to the side there, but I'm just trimming that down. You could put it up there just as it is and then paint around it or doodle around it or whatever, but I tend to like it better if it's separate. And again, I'm just trimming it down and trying to keep my scraps over to the side. But then you don't get to see it. And these aren't, I mean, this isn't something that you have to do with your artwork. Just adding words to my artwork has been something I've done for a really long time, and I like it. I like to have a message to go along with it. Not always. You don't always have to do it. So, like I said, anything that's dye-based is going to bleed through, and that includes any kind of glue. So even though those words don't match up, the size of it is still pretty much the same, so I'm just going to keep it like that. So I'm going to go sparingly with the glue. You could even use a glue stick, which is less likely to have bleed through issues, but you probably still have some, and then glue sticks aren't actually super permanent. A lot of times I don't really even worry about it. Especially if I'm working in an art journal, something that's just even more so for the process than another piece. Although, of course, the process is often more important than the product. Okay, so we did pretty well there. Didn't get the glue oozing out to the side. I'm just using a small brush Still making sure the edges get covered. I'm realizing my spacing is a little off there, but I like it better with the words a little close together. Or maybe not. It's not dry, so I can move it. I think I want to just check to see if this one is... Yeah, there's still time. It left some of the paper behind. So I'm just scraping it up with my fingernail. You could use something else if you really wanted. Okay, so I'm gonna just try my placement again here. I thought I had that like I wanted it, but then I changed my mind. Back to the glue. Sometimes working with these teeny tiny pieces of paper, I think I should go find my tweezers. But then I tend to want to just keep working. I want to keep doing what I'm doing, so I don't. I just deal with it. Okay. In one of the other lessons, I used a stencil to add a word at the top, just a single word. Sometimes that's all you need, or want, or both. Sometimes the glue builds up on your fingers and it's a bit crumbly. Okay. I'm going to get a teeny little bit of glue. I'm actually more scraping off what's on here. Yeah, and as you'll be able to see this better in the photograph. The edges are becoming more pink. I will lift it up so you can see that more easily. And that's not really a bad thing. I actually like it not being super crisp and tidy. Kind of goes along with the other things that we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and stop at this point and then add another time-lapse video, fast forward video, where I'm going to doodle around here and then do something at the bottom for the border. I have to go look for alternatives. And like I said, I might end up doing just some mandala lake doodling, but I'm not sure if white or black will be best at this point. So we will see, and I won't spend your precious time hanging out and wondering about it. So until next time.